Hello everybody, Kane here today with another episode of Minecraft Dinosaurs, and today we're back on the world to do some more work on our new mega colossal exhibit, which the more I've been working on this, the more I've realized I have bitten off a bit more than I realized. Mostly just re-looking back at this between episodes and realizing how much of this I have to get rid of. And how smart it would have been to get a beacon beforehand, but you know what, whatever. People did suggest TNT, and I don't really know how much of that I have, but might be a good idea. You know what, let's go check that actually. How much TNT do I have? Do I even have TNT? Where would I have put that? I figure miscellaneous. Not in there. Redstone, maybe? Why I put it in redstone? This redstone. Do I have TNT? I'm very much starting to think I don't. I have a lot of essence of chicken, or chicken soup. Yeah, no, I don't have TNT, do I? All right, let's see. We don't even have gunpowder? Are you kidding me? Do I serious? Well, that's a very me thing, isn't it? Let's head back up to the mountain. All right, I guess we're just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way of, well, digging by hand. But for today, I did mention this somewhat last episode, and I think it's what I'm gonna do anyway, or what I've decided I'm gonna do, is instead of doing what we did last episode, which was dig, well, we're still gonna be digging, but digging different things today. Instead of trying to round out the exhibit more, I think today my plan is more going to deal with the tunnels that are gonna go and eventually lead up to there. So I am gonna get started on that, and I will catch back up with you guys when I've made some progress. All right, everyone, and this is a quick look at what I've worked on. So we've actually made this a tunnel. It goes all the way over to here, which is where I made the dirt shelf, which I'm not realizing I didn't really plan how high up I wanted this thing to be. Part of my mind was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be up here, but I realized no, it's gonna be down at this level, isn't it? So I have to clear this whole thing for the most part, unless I decide to raise it up a block or two. We'll kind of see what ends up happening. Nothing's really set in stone. Bad pun. Anyway, yeah, so what is my plan now? I think I'm gonna try and figure some more stuff out with this. One being, do I need to widen the tunnel? Something which I'm realizing I probably do. I need to probably return it to 5 width, which means I'm going to need to expand this, probably going this direction a couple of blocks, and also take out this side of the flooring to kind of figure that out. And then figure out what I want to do for the wall design and kind of like how I want all that to work, because, yeah, I don't know, there's lots of interesting things I could do with that. Other than that, though, I think that's about all I have for now. So I'm gonna have to remove a lot of this, gonna figure out what to do with the tunnel decorations, and yeah. Also, I guess I'll bring this up now, because I'll probably have to AFK soon to repair my pickaxe. But I'm thinking of putting a like indented room for maybe like this one to like here. So I guess, I mean, not terribly large, but 11 blocks. Like making a little indented like seating area back here to look at this area of the enclosure. Because there'll be something similar to that over here when we get to work on this stuff. I'm also debating how much of the tunnel is going to be enclosed in rock and how much is going to be freestanding. We'll kind of figure that out as we go. Anyway, I'm gonna go work on that, and I'll bring you guys back when I've gotten a bit more done. All right, guys, we're back right as the sun is rising, and I have done, I think, a fair amount on this. I cleared out a bit more ground around here, decided not to step it up, instead just leave it down at this level. And I actually, and you guys might not believe me, but I did, well, you'll believe that I fixed the pathways and got them the right width, but you won't believe how long this actually took. I don't know why, but it was kind of complicated. Is that the Minecraft music? It is. What is it? I've been playing on a server with some friends in 1.16, just kind of messing about with that, so yeah, I haven't really or I've been messing with my sound settings for that. Anyway, so I know I said more, like, my goal for this episode was probably going to be to try to finish off the tunnel and everything like that. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm kind of really short on time because stuff happened, and I kind of ended up not putting in as much time as I should have into this build, or into building this week. So we're probably going to just finish off today's episode with a bit of, well, work on the tunnel and... Well, I mean, like, a bit of live work on the tunnel instead of me just, you know, kind of going off and doing it. All right, so that should work. Yeah, about 4 blocks tall should be pretty good, I think, for these viewing areas. I don't know if I'm going to switch them out for a different block. I think regular stone bricks are all right for now. I do need to figure out what I want the back wall to be, and if I end up wanting to do that, what is it called? Or that, like, sitting area back in that corner over there. Well, I guess we'll figure that out when we get there. So I guess I need to dig up a bit more. I kind of forgot about that. I can just kind of haphazardly just dig out a ton, because at the end of the day, I'll fill it in later. Okay, so it's gonna be 2, and then like that. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and that's a pretty good idea, I think, of how it's gonna end up looking. I'm like, oh, there's the wall here. Yeah, I've still gotta move this wall back probably all the way to like here or something. So we gotta push it back probably another like 20 blocks, which is still quite a big project ahead of us. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it is getting a bit, I don't know, part of me wanted to say easier. It isn't getting easier. But it's coming together more and more, and I think that's making me more, it's kind of negating the, what do you call it, like the malaise of building this thing. Like, this is a big project, and I keep saying that. But you know, sometimes when you work on a massive project in this game, you kind of get like exhausted from building it because you don't feel like you're making progress past a certain point. But I think by spending more of this episode just kind of digging out the tunnel, it definitely kind of counteracted that, because it did feel more like, you know, something was happening, stuff was getting done. It wasn't just sitting here, you know, mindlessly mining blocks, hoping that, you know, eventually it looks like I've made progress. But yeah, I think it's kind of coming along quite well right now. I need more stone brick. We're gonna need a lot more. Luckily, I've gotten all the stone in the world, because the Silk Touch pickaxe is godsend. Oh, this would be here, so well, I'll put it in anyway, just so I know kind of how the wall is going to be shaped. I do need to figure out the block type I want to use for the walls. I'm thinking maybe another kind of concrete, because we've been using lots of concrete lately. But at the same time, maybe I'll use something like, oh, you know what? I need to find the terracotta biome. I need to find a mesa. I really should, because that would get me all the terracotta we need to build any wall or exhibit I'd like. And to be honest, I think I'd prefer terracotta for doing like the interior of the hotel and all the buildings we're gonna be doing around here. Speaking of which, yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going in this area. I know I keep mentioning it, but at the same time, I think it's kind of hard to really explain how grand of a project I'm really planning, because, you know, it's like I can like tell you guys about what I'm thinking here, but you won't really have a reference for it. I'm gonna actually switch up my hotbar a little bit, just so that way it's a bit better organized. Yeah, like, you know, it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, and this exact thing, because I don't necessarily have it fully planned out in my head, but I also kind of have an idea of how it looks. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll look really cool when finished, and I'm very excited to get to that point. Yeah, I definitely think widening the path out to 5 blocks was a good idea. Also, it's good the sun is that direction, because that means all the areas with the windows are going to have a lot of natural light flooding in, which should make it easier to see all the animals in the exhibits. Because I think the Megalania is the reverse of this. Oh no, it isn't. It's facing that direction. So that has some lighting problems. Some of the other stuff has lighting problems, but I mean, like, it is nice though with the the visitor center we made. That actually does have the windows facing the right direction, so it works kind of quite well, I think, at least. All right, let's just throw some of this in. I'll probably widen the doorway out a bit, just so that way it fits a bit better with what we currently are setting up. And we'll throw 5 in. But yeah, this is overall pretty nice. So next episode, I'm trying to think here, what will be the goal? Probably I'm gonna try and do a bit more work. Since we've gotten the tunnels down, what would I like to get done by next episode? Probably see if I can get the tunnel all the way over to here. I'm then actually gonna have to see if I can plan out how to get the tunnel going over to the Megalania. Because I'd like this tunnel to meet up with that Megalania structure. And then probably also work a bit more on that, work a bit more on just, I guess, terraining the whole area. And yeah, after that, that should be just about ready. Well, ready to start doing the actual terraforming, which is going to be like creating the exhibit terrain. I want to do like a lot of ice and snow and stuff like that. So I'll have to work on getting those materials. Although I do think I have a decent amount of ice stored up somewhere in the storage room. Speaking of which, we need to move that storage room at some point. We'll get around to that eventually, so at some point, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, let's just do a bit more digging. You know, we can never get too far ahead on the next project. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun building this. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. It's reminding me of some of the old parks I've done where like we would do more builds like this far more often. I mean, we had an entire park built in a mountain range in the past, and that was a really annoying project. But you know what? We had some good builds there. We had some good times, and yeah, it turned out all right at the very end, I think, except for maybe like a few exhibits. And we never did the Ice Age area there, I think, just purely because I don't think I wanted to by the time I got to it, which is kind of why I'm doing the Ice Age area now, I guess, because to be honest, it's kind of nice to just get the Ice Age area kind of filled out and finished before, you know, I get really far back into doing all the dinosaur stuff, because, I mean, once I get back into the swing of doing all the dinosaur exhibits, yeah, it's gonna be hard to get me to stop. I kind of get in a swing with that. It's kind of hard to step away from doing all those builds. But yeah. And this clip right here is pretty much just a perfect example of what I've been doing since we started this exhibit. Just back and forth, digging down areas. People did suggest I should use TNT, but I think, oh yeah, I already showed that in another clip. I don't actually have TNT or gunpowder, surprisingly, so I might need to get on top of that. And you know what, maybe next episode we'll try and fight the Wither if I can. Because getting a beacon would probably also speed all of this up tremendously and might be a really wise investment. There are a lot of cows up there. I mean, it's only 5, but that's still a lot. But yeah, I think we're gonna end today's episode off here. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to seeing what we tackle next episode and how much farther we get on this exhibit. And until next time, guys, see ya.